think the best way to maintain a friendship is by signing a legal document that requires you to live with them for 9 months.
Yeah. And then just doing your best to make sure that that's a situation of pure isolation.
Definitely.
Yeah.
How's that worked out so far?
Pretty good.
Excellent, I would say.
Oh, are we lying now?
See, this is all about creating compromise, and
I think it also helps to have a buffer, like a dog, you know?
Mm-hmm. That was a really nice thing about honor houses, though, that I think is kind of missing here, is that it really felt like a place where freshmen through seniors could go and have a party and hang out, and I don't know, I just don't get a sense that there quite is that anymore.
Disciplinary policies in regards to the honor house has become more strict from my freshman to junior year. And that just caused a lot of the honor house people to be afraid of having large gatherings and generally only invite their really close friends. So I tend to go to the off-campus houses. So that's the big benefit of a house to me. I think it just is a space for socialization. The fact that you can fit more than 10 people into a house is really important because it sucks to only invite your 10 closest friends because then you end up having the same people over and over and over.
At German House, we wanted to plan an event and we don't have as much money this year, and then we had to, we were thinking about asking other orgs for possible fundings, but since it wasn't at night, we weren't allowed to have it, and then because of the policy about honor houses where we can't have more than like 25 or 30 people in the house, and we can't have loud music and stuff like that, we can't actually have night events, so that makes it really hard to plan these events that we want to.
And usually our events run between 40 and 70 people, so that's been a big challenge for us about how we kind of get around that.
The honor houses used to throw down when we were freshmen and sophomores. Like, we went to some really good parties.
Mm-hmm.
You know, freshman year, my friends and I sort of met at parties, and we would like meet up with each other at them, be like, oh, what house are you going to tonight? And just sort of make our way around. But as of late, I guess it seems like a lot less people are actually having those parties. So like my freshman year, you would have a lot of options of like which places to go to, and each of those places had a different set of individuals at them, whether it be like sports people or the poetry house or like the swimmer house or whatever. But now it just seems like, I don't know if people are afraid to have parties, but there's a lot less variety.
So you don't feel pressure from like the student body to host one?
Not really. I don't think at this point they expect us to be throwing parties that much. I think that it's more of an off-campus pressure.
Yeah, I'd say I feel pressured sometimes to have parties. People will ask you, you know, on the weekends, like, hey, is your house throwing down? Or are you guys having something tonight or this weekend or whatever? But I'd say so. It's because a lot of houses are not sort of stepping up to the plate. I feel like as an off-campus house where you don't have to worry about like public safety coming and writing us up or whatever, as long as you keep it tame enough, like, it's a good venue.
A lot of the honor houses this year are afraid of being kicked out of their houses, and so it's safer just not to throw a party and not risk losing your housing.
Our junior year, like which house was it? Schmidt House? Like,
it was like the very first week, or the third weekend of school.
The third weekend of school, yeah. They threw like a party that was like pretty average in like size, and that's, of course there was like a lot of sloppiness, but that's just kind of what happens when you have like a bunch of college kids. Like, so
definitely.
The first experience of someone drinking, you know?
Yeah, the first experience. Yeah. So it just, I don't know, but the school like hit down on them really hard, moved them into dorms, and then no one was willing to host anything at their house that whole year. Everyone was too scared.
Being a mostly dorm-centered campus, people can't host events in their houses, and we need to provide that. I think pause dances, in a way, fill a space that on other campuses might be filled with house parties or frat parties or something of that nature. So in a way, we're replacing that.
At these events, I get to meet like friends of my friends who I've never met before, and I run into people I know and who we have like similar interests with because we're both at like a concert that we both really like. So I think so, but for the majority, I tend to spend time with just those close friends.
It's like if I have met somebody through a class or an organized activity, like the chances that I become friends with them are, I don't know, I guess a little bit more rare than if I meet them socially.
One of the things I like about those off-campus events in an honor house or at a party is just that it's sort of a melting pot of people from campus. You get all different ages and you get all different types of people from different sport teams or just a variety of areas. And I think that those events make it very easy to meet people that you really wouldn't ever meet otherwise. And that's different than a dance, for instance. I mean, the nature of a dance, you're not really meeting people or conversing with them. And then, of course, like the other events that I attend put on by the college, like movies, that's obviously not really a social atmosphere. So I definitely like how easy it is to meet all different types of people on those parties or honor house events.
I think I met most of the people that I'm living with right now outside of like St. Olaf sponsored activities, I'd say. Mostly at parties or, you know, things going on off campus after hours. Primarily, I really like to do themed parties at my house because I think it sort of breaks down like some social barriers. Like if you have to show up with a mask or something, I don't know, something related to some theme, like you're already feeling a little, I don't know, weirded out maybe upon coming to the house. So maybe you'll be more likely to like go around and interact with people and be like, oh, what's your costume supposed to be? Or, you know, it's just a means to strike up a conversation. I think, I don't know, that's why I like having parties, is being able to facilitate that.
Times when we feel a little bit uncomfortable are incredibly important for growth. And yeah, I'm not sure if the college needs to create uncomfortable experiences per se, but I think they could do less to prevent them. Social health of students should be of vital importance to the administrators. I think our friendships are the things that we're going to remember after college more than anything.